On this edition of Community Insider, we take you behind the scenes of Dunlap Mercantile, a beautiful historic building being restored in beautiful Dunlap, Tennessee. Hosted by Cody McCarver, a Dunlap native and a country music legend. That and much more coming up on this edition of Community Insider.
Only heaven's better than a small town.
Hey y'all, I'm Cody McCarver, and we're in the Dunlap Mercantile, and about 3.5 years ago I was invited to be a part of not so much opening a business but a restoration of a building that is our oldest building in Dunlap, Tennessee. It was built in 1894, and for 50 years it had sat here dormant, and Becky Card and Louis Card decided it was time to restore these buildings before they got pushed down. So the Dunlap Mercantile started as a restoration, and now we sell a lot of hats.
It's where I'm from, small town America. It's where they'll lay me when I'm done, where Sundays are sacred and freedom ain't free. Small town America is good enough for me. Only heaven's better than a small town.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Okay, the Dunlap Mercantile in 1894 was basically Walmart, Amazon, what we think of today as the one-stop shop, like Walmart. And this is where you got everything. This is the original sign from 1894, and you came in here and you got your coffee, your food, your shoes, your clothes, everything was sold right here in the Dunlap Mercantile. And so we want to keep that idea. We sell hats, we sell music, we sell a lot of local goods. We got food and coffee, ice cream, things like that. And when we have special events, we have more food. So the Dunlap Mercantile is it's a lot of things, just like it was in 1894. So one of the really cool things about the Mercantile is that Becky had a vision that she wanted to keep everything as original as you could. So when you look at the front windows, they still have ripples in them, at least the ones that didn't get shot at by BB guns over the years. The ceiling is all original, and we took shelving off the walls like the shelving here and rebuilt it. So to save as much of it as we could. And then the counters that you see here, this counter, the glass counter back here, all of these counters were in here, and they come from 1894. And so they were all piled up and leaning and stuff piled on top of them. So when we carried all the trash out as we could, we took each counter out, took them home, put them back together as best we could, brought them back in here. So when you walk into the Dunlap Mercantile, you're not walking into a store, you're walking into history. Now the coolest thing in the Dunlap Mercantile is by far to me the elevator. Some people call it a lift, but it's an elevator, and It is the third oldest elevator in the state of Tennessee, I'm told. And we had to restore it. We used it to take everything upstairs. Upstairs is beautiful. It's rentable. You can go up and rent it for your church event or your baby shower or wedding event or whatever. It's rentable. But we don't let too many people ride this anymore. But it still works and is in great operation. And you can see right up there, we lit it up so everybody could see the amazing wheel. Okay, this room we're standing in right now is by far the coolest room in the Dunlap Mercantile. It originally was a stable where people would get horses shoed and things like that. And that was in 1894, but in 1903 cars came out. And this became a Ford agency where you could come in here, not like a big dealership today where you would go in and pick your car out. Maybe a little bit like today because cars are hard to get. But in the teens, 1910, 1912, 13 in that area, you would come in here, pick your car out because this was a Ford agency, and you pick it out of a magazine. Your car would come in on a train across the street and be brought back here where you put oil and gas and things like that in it. And this was a room where people got their cars worked on. We have people come hundreds of miles away sometimes just to come in this room. The stained glass came out of a church in downtown Chattanooga. Louis had bought these things and put them in storage, knowing or not knowing where they would ever use them or not. And one day Becky says, we need to put the stained glass windows in the Mercantile. And they came in 18 crates and had to be put back together again. And we backlit them. And this one right here, as you can see, it's called the Sermon on the Mount. They all have names. So this one is the Sermon on the Mount. And then this is our prayer room. And you can't feel this on video, so come and see this, because when you go into this room, it just feels different. We've had people come in this room and pray and pray and pray over this room, because we have prayers hanging on the wall. So people are allowed to come in. I say allowed, that's not the right word, but people can come in and take a tag and write their prayer on that tag, and we have hundreds of them hanging on the walls. Will be thousands before it's over with. Another stained glass window, this one's called the Ascension. And then the third one, which is here, is called St. Peter. And you can see Peter in the water right there. And then we have this cross. And a friend of ours that works here, his name is Lynn Dempsey. Lynn built that cross, repurposed wood. The altar that we have right here is repurposed wood. And when you go upstairs, which is our rental part of the venue, you see some beautiful farm tables up there that were built from wood that was repurposed from the floor, actually. So we took as much of the wood as we could, saved it all, and made other beautiful things with it. So getting involved in the Dunlap Mercantile, I was touring real hard at the time. And we had done a total of 4 Christian albums, faith-based albums, or outlaw gospel as I call it. And I always say that with a smile because some people don't get it. But we were touring a bunch, and we went down to Naples, Florida, and played a revival for Louis Card and Becky Card. And they at that time said they wanted to do something for Dunlap, and that's how the Dunlap Mercantile came about. So I got involved in that, but that's right when this thing, I don't know if everybody heard about it or not, this thing called COVID happened. And so the music business was shut down completely. So I had been used to doing, 100 dates with Confederate Railroad when I was part of that band, doing 50 to 100 on my own, and then recording albums and just constantly doing something. And all of a sudden one day I'm a contractor, and we're doing this beautiful building called the Dunlap Mercantile. And the Dunlap Mercantile turned into a studio, recording studio and a lot of other buildings here, just basically trying to salvage our town. It was going to be pushed down. It was almost past the point of no return. So got real involved in that, and then along came, a few years before that actually, a guy named John Schneider, who has become like a brother to me. I had known John for 25 years. If you don't know who John Schneider is, Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. So I got involved with him. I've been touring with him, writing, recording, and have done 2 movies, one called Poker Run, one called Stand On It. And we've been kind of attached at the hip now for about 7 years. And so we are heading into 2023 with work and dates and things like that. But for Cody McCarver, I have a new album coming out, and we recorded it here in Dunlap. And the first single is called Small Town America, and the song Small Town America is for a TV show called Small Town America. And so not only have I been writing some music for movies John's doing, and that I had a part into, like I said, Stand On It and Poker Run, and we're about to do a new movie called Double or Nothing. And but not only doing that, we have been filming a reality television show, which is basically about the restoration of the Dunlap Mercantile. And so frivolously, is that the right word, editing for this TV show as hard as we can to get 10 episodes done, and eventually 12 for the first season. And then season 2 will be about the restoration of the rest of the town. So we got a lot going on, and if you want to keep up what's going on, you can go to CodyMcCarver.com. When the new song comes out, best to find me at Cody McCarver Music. I don't think I'm quite young enough to have gotten into the TikTok world, but I do have a TikTok page, and Instagram and all those other places, and YouTube as well. So new music, new movie, new television show, new businesses here in Dunlap, Tennessee, with a studio which you can come and record in yourself, producing other artists, writing songs for TV. I'm the busiest man I know, and my bank account never fills up. Okay, I've been telling you about the Dunlap Mercantile. The Dunlap Mercantile was our first restoration project here in Dunlap, Tennessee. Our second was this building right here, which is the studio. Now, upstairs in the studio is 4 Airbnbs. Think you can walk with me and follow that? Now, each Airbnb is themed. So you have everything around here we've themed it with music. And Becky's favorite singer of all time is Dolly Parton. So this is the Dolly Parton suite. And as you can see, the bedspread says Jolene. And of course, any Dolly Parton fan knows I will always love you. And when you spend the night here, you can walk over here to the coffee area and pour yourself a cup of ambition. So we have the Dolly room, and then we have the Johnny Cash room. And the bedspread says, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. So if you're looking for a weekend getaway kind of place, come to hear some music and some food, come to Dunlap, Tennessee. This is Conway Twitty. Of course, the bedspread here says, hello, darling. If you're interested in renting this, it is available on Airbnb. And this set of rooms that I'm showing you right now, I'm saving the best one for last, is called Silver Eagle Suites. You can go to silvereaglesuites.com and rent right there as well. So you got Dolly, you got Johnny Cash, and you got Conway Twitty. Check this out. Every room has a star on the door. And if you know me or anything about me, you're going to know that this is the best one.
That is awesome.
I brought John Schneider in here.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, John, do you remember taking that picture? And he goes, absolutely. I thought that was pretty cool. So this is the Whalen / Dukes of Hazzard room, and of course, Whalen in here everywhere. And this album right here, I tell this story all the time to people on stage, that I've been playing music for a living for a long time now, and it's because of that album. And the gospel music that I grew up on, Teddy Huffam and the Gems and the Kingsmen and the Imperials and people like that I love listening to and playing piano in church. But when I heard that, my dad had bought that album, and that was what made me want to be in the music business. And for all the kids watching this, that's the first platinum album in the history of country music, which means 1 million copies sold. That's it. So when you come into the recording studio to record, or into the Airbnb, right here's the entrance to the studio. When you come in, you are on the neck of a guitar. Keep walking. We put this telephone booth here because who sees a telephone booth anymore, right? It is something that we get kids come through here all the time taking their pictures in the telephone booth, and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like I got old enough to make a telephone booth be a obsolete thing, but I think we have. So if you come here and you can have a great meal right here. This is our food truck that we call Mama Try. The guy cooks in here from Louisiana. Great Louisiana flavored food. And you can get just a hamburger too, so you can get other things, but he makes great food. He's got gumbo days, wonderful food set out here by the telephone booth in the tables, and have a nice meal on a Friday or Saturday afternoon. It's warm enough today to do that. Saturday, this grass was packed with people. One thing I want to say about the telephone booth that I left out, it's a Wi-Fi station, and you can charge your cell phone in it. This building is dedicated to Dolly Parton. This is a women's boutique called Dolce and Dunlap, which it's all women's clothes, but there's some really cool stuff in there, and just part of the shopping experience that we want to be able to give people here in Dunlap. This is a physical therapy building called Benchmark Physical Therapy. They had their business in here for a long time. They moved, which gave us an opportunity to purchase this building. It's going to become a restaurant. So eventually this will be like a sit-down dining, nice restaurant. And this is the yard, where you can come in and get yourself something to drink, get yourself a hot dog, hamburger, food, and here's some great live entertainment. And unfortunately, this is a more warm weather kind of a venue, but we've had this place packed out into the streets with people coming in here and listening to concerts and great music, and we're going to continue that this year, 2023. We want it to be family. We want you to, be able to bring your kids in to hear a concert. And of course, if that music that's here that weekend might not be suitable for kids, I don't know. But it's meant to be family. Again, there's Outlaw Gospel. This is restrooms. A lot of this stuff's repurposed. The ceilings in the restrooms are from the original Sequatchie County Bank in Dunlap, built in 1909. And if you saw the guitar, then you know we love murals. This is the train depot that came through Dunlap, where I was talking about the cars that would be delivered and brought to the back of the Dunlap Mercantile. That's it. So if you want to come to an event here, Facebook is the best way to keep up with it. We do have Instagram and the others, but it's called the Yard Dunlap. It's as you can see, it's kind of made like a rail yard. The old lights from the train stations. The railroad crossing sign here when you come in. The door out there, we have antique railroad sign crossings. So it's called the Yard because of that, because we had a railroad that came right through the middle of town, and of course people mostly made a living here from coal, and which is now kind of a thing of the past for us. But we don't want to lose that history. There is a history, a story that needs to be told and continue to be told. And with these buildings, I think, and the restoration of them, I think we're doing that. The last building that I'm going to show you is this one, which if you look at the sign, it says coming soon, Coops Creek Outdoors. And as of right now, Coops Creek Outdoors is going to be a place where you can buy hunting and fishing, hiking. We want you to be able to get a kayak and go to float the river, which is less than a mile that way, and come and enjoy the valley here. And have a great weekend getaway with Airbnb and music and food. And then during the day, you can go hiking, or if you want to camp or whatever, hopefully we can provide all those things right here at Coops Creek Outdoors. So I'm going to fall short of calling it a mini academy, but maybe that's what it'll be. I have made a living somehow playing music for close to 30 years. I was part of Confederate Railroad, got my own records out and things like that. So not only is the Dunlap Mercantile Restoration where we sell products that say Dunlap Mercantile, and we got bandanas and cups and all kinds of things that are Dunlap Mercantile products, clothes, but we also are a music venue. And the music venue side of it is we saved enough of the original floor, which was 1894, and this building had been flooded and had sat here for 50 years with nothing in it. We were able to save just enough floor to build a stage. And the stage is where we've been having some events and having concerts, and being as I'm in the music business, we're going to keep bringing bigger and bigger artists here. We clear everything out of the building, and we line this room with chairs and dim the lights and have a great concert right here. My favorite part of the music here at the Dunlap Mercantile is we have Mercantile Church. Our biggest goal, our mission statement, was not to restore a building or to, make people around town love what's going on here, but it was to glorify God. And our mission statement said, glorify God. That's the first thing we wrote on the chalkboard. So we have Mercantile Church here. We have a lot of different pastors from different denominations come in, and we have different singers, and when we don't have singers, I sing. So it's not too bad, I guess. So we invite you to come to our events, and you can find out about them as they happen at dunlapmercantile.com or the Dunlap Mercantile Facebook page or Instagram or any of the social media outlets out there that you have. We're on them. So come and see us at the Mercantile.
And around 9 p.m. they roll the sidewalks up and shut her down. And small town America is where I'm from. is gonna state this year. And our biggest celebration is the 4th of July. And in God we trust is good enough for us. It works every time. In small town America is where I'm from. Small town America is where they'll lay me when I'm done. Where Sundays are sacred, we know freedom ain't free. Small town America is good enough for me. And on Sunday mornings when the church bells ring, sometimes I shed a few tears. Not because I'm sad, but because I'm proud that I'm from here. In small town America is where I'm from. Small town America is where they'll lay me when I'm done. Where Sundays are sacred and freedom ain't free. Small town America is good enough for me. Only heaven's better than a small town.
And then we got Chuck, world-renowned engineer. I'm on Facebook Live showing people around
Sweet.
the studio.
Hey, everybody.
So hey y'all, I'm Cody McCarver, and this concludes our tour of downtown Dunlap. And we're not done restoring everything in here that needs to be done, but we got an awful lot of cool stuff going on right here. This is my hometown, and I'm proud of my hometown, and I want to invite you to come and check it out.